Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to our webinar, Making New Beginnings at JGT Dubai. This webinar is brought to you by Jewelry, Gem and Technology Dubai, which takes place from February 22 to 24 next year at the Dubai World Trade Center. This international B2B in-person jewelry trade fair is powered by two of the world's leading events organizers, Informa Markets Jewelry and the Italian Exhibition Group. It is supported by official partner DMCC, or the Dubai Multi-Commodity Center, and industry partner, the Dubai Gold and Jewelry Group. I am Oli Kinikini of JNA, and I will be your host and moderator today. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type them in the Q&A box in the Zoom control panel, and we will get to those later. This webinar is being recorded, and we will send you the link of the recording in a few days' time. The playback will also be available on our website, jewelrynet.com, and the official website of the trade show, jgtdubaishow.com. So over the next 30 minutes, our panelists will share with us key lessons from the pandemic, initiatives for post-lockdown growth, business prospects in new and emerging markets, and the role that JGT Dubai can play in market diversification strategies. So the trade fair offers suppliers the opportunity to unlock the full potential of a combined market of 4 billion consumers, all within 7 hours of flying time from Dubai. The buying opportunity is especially focused on wholesalers, retailers, and manufacturers from the Middle East, India, Russia, Southern Europe, and North Africa. Let us take a quick look first at how some of these markets are faring. So according to the World Gold Council, the Middle East was one of the drivers of growth in gold jewelry demand in the third quarter of this year, along with China and India. Gold jewelry demand in the UAE grew 116% to 8.2 tons during this period, compared to 3.8 tons in Q3 last year. Improving tourist arrivals, especially from India, helped boost consumption. All markets across the Middle East witnessed year-on-year growth in the third quarter due to lower and relatively stable gold prices and the easing of COVID-19 restrictions. A study by QY Research Group in June valued the UAE gold jewelry, gold bars, and silver market at $2.3 billion in 2020. The market is actually expected to be worth close to $3.6 billion by the end of 2030, growing at an annual compound rate of 3.66% from 2021 to 2030. And according to the Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council of India, some 40% of India's jewelry exports head to the Middle East. The market also accounts for around 80% of deliveries by Italian jewelry manufacturing companies in Arezzo, Italy. Dubai plays an extremely important role as a gateway to jewelry markets such as the Gulf region, North Africa, Central and South Africa, Central Asia, Russia, Southern Europe, and India. The city is also thriving as a business and leisure destination. Dubai has hosted several large-scale in-person trade fairs since late last year, and it is now buzzing with the World Expo, which runs until the end of March 2022. From all accounts, jewelry demand is also up in the other Gulf countries, in the Middle East, wider Middle East region, and in North and Central Africa as well. So now let us bring in our panelists to discuss these opportunities further. We are delighted to have with us today an extremely distinguished and authoritative group of industry leaders to share their insights on post-pandemic growth and new business opportunities in emerging markets. Joining us today, we have Giordana Giordini, who runs Italian jewelry manufacturing company Giordini with her brother Alessandro. Giordana is also the president of the gold jewelry section of Confindustria Arezzo, the trade organization of Italy's industrial hub in southern Tuscany. She thus leads and develops strategies for the sustainable growth of Italy's gold jewelry manufacturing center. Giordana, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Good morning. Thank you very much for inviting me.
We're also very honored to have with us a leading industry luminary in Dubai's gold and jewelry fraternity. Tawid Abdullah is the CEO of Jawara Jewelry, a prominent wholesaler of gold and diamond jewelry and an acclaimed retail jewelry chain with over 200 stores globally. He is also the long-standing chairman of the Dubai Gold and Jewelry Group, the city's largest jewelry trade body with around 600 members representing all sectors of the industry. Known for his forward-thinking nature and vision, he has won several accolades in various fields and he has also set standards that have since been adopted by the UAE jewelry industry. Okay. I think he will be joining us in a bit. Okay. Also on our panel is Mr. Ashish Garg. He is the head of sales and marketing of KGK Diamonds and Jewelry, the marketing arm in the Middle East of jewelry conglomerate KGK Group. Ashish established KGK's diamond and jewelry business in various countries in the Middle East. He specializes in setting up profitable strategic niches in the diamond and jewelry segments of different markets for KGK Group. An active industry player, he has been a director of the Dubai Gold and Jewelry Group since 2020. Ashish, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me, Oli. It's a pleasure to join.
Okay. And last but not least, we have Dr. Martin Leek, Special Advisor for Precious Stones at DMCC. Appointed to the position in June 2018, he is responsible for expanding and diversifying DMCC's precious stone portfolio and helping grow Dubai into the #1 diamond trading hub in the world. Martin is also company secretary of the Dubai Diamond Exchange, and he chairs the organizing committee for DMCC's flagship diamond event, the Dubai Diamond Conference. Martin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Absolute pleasure.
Okay, so now let's move straight into the panel discussion because we have a lot to unpack. Okay, I think we're all here and Mr. Tawid will be joining us shortly. Okay. So Jordana, let's start with you. Let's get the lay of the land first. How are things for the gold jewelry companies in Arezzo? What are some of the key lessons you learned during the pandemic and what is the outlook for 2022?
So Arezzo is the first European goldsmith district in terms of importance. We have over 1,200 companies, manufactured company, and around 8,000 employees. The most of the company, they produce under their own brand, and we export over 70–75% of our goods. During the pandemic, all the factories were in lockdown, as you know, and we have equipped ourselves to be able to contact our customers through these modern tools, like such as a platform, etc. And we have worked very hard to increase this part that has always been a bit weak for us. But at the same time, we realized that we need to show our jewelers to the customers. We need to contact our customers to get in touch and to see each other. And we want the customers to touch our jewelry and to feel our made in Italy in the pieces. So we are so definitely sure that we need shows and we need to participate to national and international shows and to get in contact with our customers. In this period, we worked hard also of improving our jewelers. We study new technologies to make our jewelry here in Arezzo more wanted, more light, more fashion. So we invest a lot of money in technologies, but also in design. So in fact, the surveys reveals that in the first 6 months of 2021, the export of Arezzo, which counts around 32% of the national turnover, showed an increase compared to 2020 of 110%, but also compared to the same period of 2019, an increase of 13%. So it means that all the work that we have done was right, and we are in the right road. But as I told you, we need to increase our markets, and we need to participate to shows to get in touch with our old customers and to find new customers. What I think about the future 2022 is that we have to continue to invest in technologies and to make our products nicer and the most wanted, but we have to concentrate in new markets. Dubai for us is the first market because for Arezzo, we exported to Dubai around 27% of our products, followed with the US market, but to see the difference, that Dubai is 27% and the US is 13% of the value of Arezzo export. So Dubai for us is our country where we sell the most our product. But Dubai is not only Dubai, the Gulf Souk or the Gulf area. Dubai is a hub of distribution. So in 2022, but also now in this year, we are focused on African market. So we would like to improve our goods for the North Africa, but also South Africa, Central Africa market, because North Africa, it has been always a nice market for us, but we are concentrating to develop new customers in the Central African and South of Africa.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that update, and we will dive deeper into the African market a bit later. Now may I go to Ashish. How are things for KGK? I mean, how was business in the Middle East, and what is the outlook like for 2022?
Thank you, Oli. So KGK Group, is almost $1 billion group operating in 18 countries today. KGK Diamonds and Jewelry, which is a marketing arm for KGK Group in UAE and Middle East, is basically looking at three verticals in this part of the world, which is diamond jewelry, and color stones. For the pandemic, since our presence was very strong in this region, and being a very professionally managed company, we focused on agility and adaptability. And we felt, because we were agile with a zero product, stock model that we operate, we were able to quickly change the product line suiting to the new market conditions. Because of adaptation, we felt that digitization is the key today. And we were able to launch our B2B website, which was focusing on, directly reaching to our wholesalers, and manufacturers in the region who needs our goods. So we were able to communicate with our client without, having much disturbance despite the pandemic. So we felt that the key lessons that we learned from the pandemic was that you need to be agile, you need to be adaptable, and prepare for the situation and keep the team motivated. That helped the group to keep our market share intact, and in fact grow compared to other people. So as a pandemic, it was a blessing in disguise for us. And although we hope that 2022 would be a better year in terms for everybody. And as an outlook for 2022, we feel the diamond market is poised for growth, and it's not across this region, but across the entire world. We are seeing the diamond industry is growing a bit, and we are very positive about it. Middle East in general will also see a very good growth, with a lot of events lined up, like Expo 2022 is going on. Then we have Qatar World Cup in next year. And there's so many other events which are going to happen in this part of the world, which will bring a lot of consumers to Dubai and the UAE and other regions. So we are very hopeful that market will definitely, be very supportive. And those companies who are adaptable, who are agile, who are professional, will definitely gain much more market share, in this region. Also, another important thing to note is that supply chains across the regions is strained. So whoever is able to bring the supply chain and the supplies to the customers in a proper manner will definitely, can gain a market share and customers' interest. So we are very positive about this outlook for 2022, and we hope, the market will be good for everyone.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Tawid, thank you very much for joining us. I just have some questions for you because you're, of course, the guru of the Middle Eastern market.
That's very kind of you.
So maybe you could tell us a little more about how the market is doing. How has the UAE and the Gulf market and the Middle Eastern market changed after the pandemic, if it has?
Well, thank you very much for hosting me as well. You know that it's a very sensitive issue to talk about the new organization going to run the show in February 22. We are so excited. I mean, I will touch base first on how did we react with the pandemic. Probably you must have seen all over the world that United Arab Emirates, probably Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Tel Aviv were on the top ranking 3 cities on the world, which has declared 1 month of close down, and then we have started doing business, and business has been booming for us from last April 2020. We have seen people not traveling, so that was an extra advantage to us. Gold prices has eased up down a little bit, so it was more favorable. We have seen, probably we were the first country to open to the world, so we have seen people still coming to us, yes, in a smaller number, but we have seen a lot of inflow. People not leaving, some inflow was coming. I think we have seen a fantastic 2020. 2021 is a little bit more relaxed to all other travelers, and we have never had any stop in suppliers. We have seen a tremendous support from the government, either through banking system, through the government department, DMCC, which is a specialized department presenting the government. We have seen practically everybody standing by us because the gold and jewelry sector in the United Arab Emirates is presenting more than 23, 24% of the GDP of the country. In jewelry wise, we are more than 200 tons in a year, 60, 70 tons presented our local production. We are good exporters, we are re-exporters, we are importers for re-export. So we play the role of different faces, and we are so much in a friendly relation, like with Ms. Jordana say, we present 30% of the imports, of the exports of Italian producers. Probably it's about 80, 85, 80, 90 tons. So we get 30 tons from there. From India, we get probably a little bit bigger number. From China, more or less, Indonesia, Malaysia, Turkey. So we are, at 200 plus tons of jewelry traders. So as far as I'm concerned, we have seen some behavior on the consumers' habit, but probably electronically, we are the last sector, because from 0.01, maybe we have moved to 0.0203. Not because of other business in United Arab Emirates, digital has gone up to 34% of the business was happening through digital. But our industry still sustaining that. People would like to go to the store, they would like to try the ring, they would like to try the earring and the necklace and see the color of the skin matching it, the color of the, it's still far away from being digital. Despite that, we have seen a big development of local designers and local traders who became part of the business. That's in one way encouraging, because then we can reach more number of people. We can enlarge our segment going to more fashion, more younger generation, people who would not like to be seen in the jewelry store, but would like to see themselves issuing their credit card and buying. So we have seen some of that. We have had some business shifting from UAE to other countries, such as probably Turkey, North Africa went to them, but we have got a lot of substantial business has come to us from Central Africa on the last few months. We have seen increased number of tourism coming back to us. So our aim is to sustain the 220 tons of jewelry. I'm not talking of billion at all. And we have seen a very encouraging GCC buying. So we are a hub to the GCC, a lot of exports against imports from other part of the world to Saudi Arabia, to Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait and Oman. So we have been quite encouraged by the sustainability of the neighboring markets. And there is also one more change has happened on the recently, that we have seen a softer gold price that has encouraged us to have more. And we are so desperate to see a B2B successful business. We have not succeeded in the past to achieve the platform. We are adequate, we are prepared, logistically, internationally, size of business, size of export, size of import for exports. We are lacking of a well-organized B2B platform, and we are aiming a lot to make a lot of commitment from the trade to make this happen. A small particular about United Arab Emirates, particularly about Dubai Souq. We are probably one of the most worldwide, our sector worldwide is so scattered. There is no organized sector, where in United Arab Emirates, we have got a well-organized sector, big companies in big numbers, and that present more than 65 to 67% of the business. So when you target the organized sector, I think that gives us an easier relation with all the partners around the world. And by that, I would like to thanks all the people here that, looking forward to see all of you making this event successful. It's a very important. I would like all our stakeholders, all our clients, suppliers, we have a very transparent relation that we have seen it during the pandemics, that our best, most important support came from our supplier on the world. Honestly, we have felt that we are part of each of them because we didn't have any panic from the suppliers. There was understanding if there was some cut down in orders. There was very understanding if there is sometime doubling the size of the order. So we proven to the world that we are a well-organized sector, that we are well respected, and we are very transparent, and we are at the same time a sizable country for business. This is what I would like to share with all of you, and keep in mind that we are in continuous improvement toward more blockchain on the next 3 years to happening on 2 years, but the mentality of our industry has moved dramatically toward replenishing technology of stock, using inventory, RFID, using technology for replenishment of orders. So we are probably one of the fastest adopters to our industry. Is still a very traditional industry in our area, but our thinking has moved ahead with the revolution happening on the technology around the world. So we are adopting that as well. And I take this opportunity to thank all of you with me on this webinar. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tawil. So, Martin, I have some questions for you because, as Mr. Tawid mentioned, Dubai is really achieving a lot in the international gem and jewelry world. Now, what are, and the DMCC has held a number of very important tenders in both diamonds and colored gemstones this year. So, what exactly are Dubai's ambitions in the diamond trade, and how do you intend to achieve those?
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you very much for hosting this webinar. Dubai is a trading hub, and it's been established. The DMCC has been established for almost 20 years now. And we have been given a mandate by the government of Dubai to promote trade and provide the ecosystem for that trade in gold, in diamonds, in precious stones, and in jewelry. And we want to encourage more trade to come through Dubai for various very solid commercial reasons. The first is that the connectivity that Dubai has. We are connected to most of, as you said right in the beginning, to 65% of the population of the Earth within an 8-hour flight, direct flight. And we are blessed with the Emirates airline and Dubai being a major travel hub. So that has been a tremendous boost for us. Also, the leadership of the UAE and Dubai on the way that they managed the pandemic. I mean, Tawid was explaining how we've been open for a long time, and let me just go through the chronology. So when the world shut down back in when was it? It was March 2020. Dubai had a very strict lockdown. We were not allowed to leave our apartments for about 5 weeks. We had to send a SMS to get permission to go out to pick anything up, while the authorities got the testing and the tracing sorted out. And then we were very quick on the testing to make sure that the authorities had a handle on spreading events, to make sure that people could be looked after and the safety of the entire population here, residents, locals, and everybody here in the UAE was put right front and center. And then when the vaccines were developed, we were very fast on the vaccination scale, and we've done a fantastic job of being vaccinated and vaccinating the whole population. So we've managed to stay open. We wear masks all the time. There's a strict fine if you do not wear masks in public places, and that's enabled Dubai to remain open and to expand. As you rightly said, we've got the Dubai Expo going on at the moment here in for the next 6 months, and Dubai's rocking. It's never been busier. It used to you'd never used to wait more than 5 minutes for a taxi. Now we regularly wait 20-30 minutes for a taxi. The hotels are at 90% occupancy, and the hotels you need to make a reservation about the restaurants you need to make a reservation about a week in advance. So we're really booming and delighted to do that. What DMCC is mandated by the government is to grow the non-oil, is to diversify the economy of Dubai, and we want to grow the gold, precious stones, diamonds, and jewelry sectors, which currently represent about 27% of the GDP of the UAE. It's the largest category outside of the hydrocarbons. So it's a very important strategic commodity sector for the UAE. And we want to see how we can help facilitate trade to come through and for people to be able to do business through Dubai so that everybody can make money. I saw that there was a question about taxes in the Q&As. And the answer to that is if you set yourself up in the free zones, there is zero tax. There's zero corporate tax at the moment. There's zero income tax. There's a guaranteed tax window of 50 years. We do have a 5% VAT on sales, but there is a reverse charge mechanism for that, which has been working very well and was quickly adopted after the implementation of VAT. The UAE is a very fast-moving country, and the UAE is a very fast-moving country and very commercially minded. And so we're really focused on how can we facilitate trade, how can we build those trade connections, how we can connect the buyers with the sellers. As you rightly said, we've done a lot of tenders in the diamond and colored gemstone space, and we see that trend continuing. And the next focus is really on the polished market and the wholesale market. So we saw it as a natural jump to make sure that DMCC was fully behind the organizers from Informa and the Italian exhibition groups to organize the Jewelry, Gems and Technology trade show here in Dubai in February 2022, which we're looking forward to. So I hope that answers the questions, and I'm happy to go into more detail if required.
Okay, thank you, Martin. Now, a lot of the people are looking at JGT Dubai with great interest. This opens up lots of new opportunities, new markets for them. So what kind of opportunities would you say are available in that part of the world for people to tap into? Maybe Ashish, we can start with you, like in the wholesale market, in the midstream, what kind of opportunities are available for people looking for new markets?
Thank you, Ali. See, we are a predominantly B2B player, and we have been established here for the last 20 years. And thankfully, we're still going strong. And as I said, since it's a variety market, and there are a lot of countries, so you have to kind of talk about a hub. I mean, if you're sitting in Dubai, you have to really look at the entire GCC market and even the MENA region to really get the good volumes out of the business. And you have to be in multiple product lines, to become very attractive as a good attractive destination for you. So if you talk about diamond jewelry, it's a very good market today. It has been predominantly a gold jewelry market in Dubai and UAE and GCC. But progressively over the years, we have seen diamond jewelry becoming very important because retailers are realizing that there is margin in diamond jewelry. So we are, have actually adopted this route, and we have understood that a lot of people are shifting from gold to diamond jewelry. So you have to bring them products which are cheaper, which are stylized, and which kind of replaces when they go into a store. They can instead of buying a gold jewelry, they will be happy to buy a diamond product in the same budget. So that's what we did, and we were quite successful. And the players like Mr. Tawheed Abdullah and the companies like Malabar, the people who are into the mass market have been able to go to the consumers and sell this concept a lot, and really made a huge progress in their business. And we, as their support partner, have been there with them and developed the products which are suiting to the taste of the market, and brought these lines to them, and the business kind of started booming for all of us. Secondly, the markets for color stones is also becoming very strong post-pandemic, because people need vibrancy, they need more colors, everybody needs more of a kind of a flair to life rather than just the troubled period with the pandemic. So the color stone jewelry and the color stone market is also going to boom in this region, and I feel there is a lot of potential in that region as well. Apart from that, the certified diamonds, the people, a lot of GCC people are rich, as Mr. Martin said. We are seeing a lot of tourists as well. There are a lot of locals who had a lot of money, and it's about basically that if you are able to serve their need and their luxury needs, and you have the product for them, you can get the business. So we believe in going deep into the market, understanding the consumers rather than just our retail partners or a wholesale partner. We try to understand what is the consumer need in the market and try to bring that and propose to our retail partners here. And that's how the business, works for us. So from my advice to all the people who are looking at this market is that interact more with the retailers and the retail partners here, understand the consumer needs, and align your product to the market rather than just selling what you are producing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Jordana, what about you? What kind of designs do you think are more popular now? What kind of items are moving faster in the among the clients that you service in that region?
As I told before, Ali, we worked a lot of new technologies and new design, and we are preparing a big selection of new items, very light, but in the same time very big, very showing, that I think will be great for the African market. So, I mean, we know Dubai, we know that area. As I said, Dubai is our first market, so we know less what is hot there. And I'd like to take the chance to thank Mr. Tawhid for the words that he said for the Italians. And I can say the same thing. We are a team, Italians, the factory that I represent, and our Dubai customers, especially Mr. Tawhid, are very clear, very close to each other. And in this pandemic period, we shared our problems, but we never lost our mind. We were focused on the future, on making new models, but with the help also of our customers. So thank you very much. And as I said, we worked instead of suffering and staying still, we decided to invest a lot of money in new technologies. So all our products will be ready for the JGT show in February 2022. Will be the new designs, new technologies, and I am sure all our customers in Dubai, but also other customers that we wish to reach through that expo, through that show, will be very happy. So I hope we will do a great 2022.
Okay, thank you very much, Jordana. Mr. Tawhid, you mentioned a lot of new prospects or growing prospects in the African market. Could you share a bit more about the requirements, the jewelry demand trends that they're looking for, and what would be the best way to tap these markets?
Hi again. You can notice, I'll talk about the GCC. It's a very young generation, probably more than 65% are below the age of 25. And we have seen a dramatic change on the consumer's habit and design. The charming women on the Gulf, they became asking for mini jewelry, smaller jewelry. They are abandoning the big size and the long necklaces and heavyweight and so on. And they are going more trendy, like an international trend happening. Is all minor, smaller things, fine. But yes, we lost a lot of grammatage on that. But on the other hand, they buy much more frequently because they go adopted to a fashion. They will start asking us 4 or 5 times a year the collection. So the consumer's buying habit on the Gulf has changed in a very big way. And it is allowing us, number one, to be able to introduce more number of quantity, more number of new designs, and even if it's in a smaller size, but the sales became much more easier. Gifting became a very most important practice and standard of lifestyle. People gift. So we brought back some of the habits to our industry by bringing the young generation to be able to be more friendly with our jewelry stores. So what is the specialty about Dubai? With all the respect to other countries, for instance, let us go to a country like India. If a consumer from the Arab young world will go to India, they will be fascinated by the designs there because it's so big, but they can't adapt it to their daily style life. They want small jewelry. In Dubai, you can't find it. Somebody from the Far East, they want platinum jewelry. In Dubai market, we have it. And we are, you know, like Mr. Ashish mentioned, we are a multicultural cuisine for jewelry. That we have everybody specialized in one sector. In 22 karat in bangles, you will find designers and manufacturers and so. And recently we have been able, with the help of all our partners, associates, producers, either from other part of the world, to say, look, we are having more customers coming from Nigeria, for instance, which was not the case on 5, 7, 18 years ago. And we are getting people from South Africa. Yes, they were buying from us and they are buying more. We're getting people from Nigeria. So we need to their customs made, we need probably more electroforming. We need the big volume, lightweight. So the lightweight has been constant for every product. And we have seen ourselves that we are able to adopt, create a new designs with all the designers. Because of two reasons, we have got a close relation and very transparent and trust relation. If I call Miss Jordana, I say, look, Jordana, we need to adopt a little bit more than. I'll call our supplier in Indonesia. I says we need to go to 40 centimeters chain at 2 grams, 1.5 grams. They trust what we are indicating or what we are proposing, because they know that we are a market leader, and they know that by listening to us and being closer relation with us is helping us both, and that will help us globally to also attract more people. And therefore the platform of the exhibitions is going on the JGT is going to be an extra opportunity for us to bring the world together. So we have a mandate, you have a mandate, all the rest of the stakeholder has a mandate to make it happen. So thank you very much again.
Okay, so thank you very much. And unfortunately, we've run out of time. So I'd like to thank all the panelists for being so generous with your time and your insights. I'm sure everyone has learned a lot about tapping this new market and the platform that JGT Dubai can offer the gem and jewelry world. So thank you so much for your time again. And
one more last statement.
Sure, go ahead.
Remember that we are the world's less expensive price. We are working for volume. We are working with very small margin. You will be surprised that you go some of the jewelry stores, big chain store, and we have various products from 4% markup to 10, 15%, which cannot be matched any other part of the world. So keep that in mind. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you very much again. Thank you, Martin, Ashish, Tawid, and Jordana. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And have a lovely day. Thank you for your insights.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so thank you very much as well for joining us today. I hope you found the discussion interesting. I'm sure you got a lot of good takeaways about how to tap these new markets that are available at JGT Dubai, and also the importance of having the right products, the importance of knowing your customers, knowing the market, and of course having the right partners in the in business. So I'd just like to remind everyone that the webinar recording will be available in the next few days, and we will be sending the webinar link to everyone who has attended the show, the webinar. And once again, JGT Dubai makes its debut from February 22 to 24 next year at the Dubai World Trade Center. And you can get more information about the show at its website, jgtdubaishow.com. Thank you once again for joining us, and have a pleasant day.